Sponsored by 666bet.com.
This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella and 666bet. We're at the weigh-in here for Cleverly and Bellew. Fighting on the bill tomorrow night, Denis Douglin. Here is his mother, Saphya Douglin.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. So you've just arrived here?
Yes.
Long flight? Stressful flight?
I'm a bit tired.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I interviewed your son yesterday and he was at the press conference and seems very confident coming over here. He's a good talker. But he's got it all to do in the ring tomorrow.
He's going to do
He's
that?
got it all to do in the ring tomorrow against
Absolutely.
George Groves.
Absolutely.
What have you seen of George Groves so far?
Well, I've watched all his tapes. I've watched every fight that's out there to be watched. He's a good fighter. It's going to be a tough fight for my son, but at the end of the day, this is what boxing is about. So the best man is going to win tomorrow, and hopefully, prayerfully, it will be my son.
Did you watch the fights, obviously, with Carl Froch?
I watched every fight that this man has ever fought.
What did you make of the fights with Carl Froch?
Ooh, interesting. You know what I watched more so than Carl Froch as I watched him fight a southpaw. My son is a southpaw.
Yeah.
So I had to study how he works with a southpaw more than how he worked with Carl Froch, because Carl Froch is a different kind of fighter. My son is a southpaw, so I looked at that fight that he did with, I guess his name is DeGale.
James DeGale, which is 3 years ago, yeah.
Yes, I watched that, and I know 3 years makes a difference, and I get that, but I still need to see how he handled a southpaw. And I think I've learned some stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, from our side of it, in England here, quite interested in, like I said, that relationship between you and your son, and the fact that you do train him. It's not a common thing, as you well know. So, talk to me a little bit about your history in the sport of boxing.
Well, I started training Denis when he was 8 years old. It didn't happen because I just said, I'm going to take you to the gym and train you to box. It all happened because I was in the gym and he had gotten into a fight in school. And I just said to him, I'm going to just teach you how to defend yourself. You don't have to box, just defend yourself. And after, I guess, a couple of months of him seeing me training other little kids and coming to competitions with me and him and the other kids and seeing what they were doing, he just has a competitive spirit anyway. So he just got interested in boxing at that point. And then once he did, he loved it. Never wanted to turn back.
So, were you a fighter? Are you a fighter yourself?
I'm no longer a fighter.
But you were?
Yes, I used to fight. I used to fight amateur, and I used to also be a runner. And one of the things that happened with me as far as being an athlete, my knees got bad, this got bad, those things blew out, so I didn't get to take my boxing career probably where I would want to take it. But at the end of the day, I was doing it because I was vain. I was just trying to get in shape. Basically, I wasn't boxing because I wanted to box. I was just boxing to make sure that I stayed in shape.
So, I mean, while you were fighting, what kind of like women boxers did you sort of take inspiration from, if you did at all?
I actually didn't.
No.
You know, I got more inspiration from the men that were in the Gleason's gym, because they would get in the ring, they would spar with me, they would help me, they would hit me like a man. They would treat me like a man, and that's where I got my inspiration from.
That's quite interesting. So what kind of boxers did you used to watch then, growing up, like male-wise then?
Oh, all the best. The older fighters, Muhammad Ali, Frazier, Sugar Ray Leonard. I watched all of that because my family always had a love for boxing, so we watched a lot of boxing.
Like I said, it's not that meant like crazy, but it is to think that you're going to be in the corner with your son, and like I said, because it's not a known thing or really a common thing, rather, especially here. In fact, I've never seen it before myself, so it'll be quite interesting to see that side of it, if you take an interest in that side of it.
I think, you know what, for me, when I think about it, I don't think about it because of the fact that it's just our life.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a gimmick, it's just who we are, and it's just like second nature. So when other people talk about it, the way they talk about it, it's like, what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? That's how I think about it, because it's just our life. It's what we've been doing for 20-something years. So it is what it is. What's the difference? Fathers do it all the time. I just happen to be his mother.
Absolutely. That's it. My mum can't fight, so she didn't really teach me anything like that. And she hates fighting as well. So.
Really?
But,
I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy because at the end of the day, it's still my son.
yeah.
So I'm watching my son in the ring, and it's still my son. My stomach still goes into knots. I still go through a whole lot of stuff emotionally because it's my son at the end of the day, but I'm okay with it.
Obviously, a lot of mothers come and watch their sons box, and some of them, I know a lot of mothers who can't watch their sons box, they're like waiting at the end of the phone when the fight's over to hear whether he's won or lost and that he's safe, obviously. But that must be a nightmare for you, that you're watching, you know, your own flesh and blood and your son into the ring. If he's in trouble or he's taking shots, you're probably feeling the shots yourself.
Every time he fights. Every time he fights. And I think that the worst is when I finally did see him lose a fight and I thought that he got hurt in a fight. And after that, like, the next fight was just so scary for me. So it's emotions that I can't even explain. I get over them, I get past them, I get through them, but they're always going to be there because it's my son. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. When your son was talking in the press conference yesterday, he made reference to the fact that he's kind of been overlooked to come here. George Groves is a favourite, obviously, here. But are you confident that your son, which would be a big upset if your son was to lose in this country, if your Denis was to win tomorrow, that would be considered a massive upset to beat George Groves. But you're obviously confident coming over here that that will happen.
I think that if you can win over here, if you can win anywhere, you can win anywhere. It's just a boxing ring.
Yeah.
It's a boxing ring, whether it's here, whether it's in America, it doesn't matter. You know, you go in there, you do your best. As long as we get a fair shot, that's all we ask for. Just a fair shot, not a shot that, you know, the decision automatically goes to somebody else or that kind of situation. We just want a fair shot. And I think that I saw Kell Brook go to the United States and he won a title from Sean Porter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. They gave it to him and he deserved it. It wasn't like it was a situation where people were talking about, oh my God, he got robbed. No, he won the fight and he got the victory. And that's all we want. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. It's boxing.
That's 100%. Do you train anyone else?
I used to train a lot of fighters, but I have to put so much time into my son because I also have to work a 9 to 5. And then I work in Brooklyn and I live an hour and a half away from where I work. So it's hard to train other people and put all of myself into them and be honestly devoted to them. I can't do it. So I would never do that to people. If I can give them all, which is something that I want to do in a point in time in my life, but I can't do it now.
What do you do as your day job?
I'm an accountant / human resource representative.
It's very different from
yes, from boxing.
From
right?
boxing.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm currently looking for a trainer myself.
Are you?
Yeah. Would you be interested in training me?
Absolutely. Where?
I've never had a fight. I'm very like raw but I can punch a little bit. So.
Yes. Where? Here or?
Here, but I'm more than willing to come to New York and.
Whenever you come over there, I will train you.
Yeah. It could be quite interesting because no one wants to train me here.
No.
This guy's a trainer behind me as well.
I don't know. You're so cute, though.
New York Trinity. You remember your son's father Matthew, who buddy?
Oh, in Manhattan on Church Street. Yes.
Done quite a few sparring sessions there.
Yeah, you saw how that went, right?
Huh?
You remember how that went, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Saphya, thanks for talking to us, and listen, wish you the best of luck, you and your son, tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The Big Fight, sponsored by 666bet.com.